This is a tour of my Snap-on KRL1022. I've had the box for about 6 years. I really enjoy it. The color is candy apple red. I've got the stainless top on there. First drawer, got all the sockets and ratchets. So on the left, I've got all the metric stuff. On the right, I've got the standard stuff. So we'll start in the back here. Okay, so back here, I've got some of my 3/4 inch drive sockets, mainly 1/2 inch through here. Big stuff, axle nut sockets, that type of thing. Got the 12-point 30mm there. Got the Snap-on O2 sensor socket. That's pretty handy. My only complaint about this is sometimes with this big gap in here, you get one that's really tight and that'll actually open up a little bit and slip on the sensor. I've got the 1/2 inch swivel adapter there. You can just put your socket on and you got swiveled in. Some other little adapters, spark plug sockets, and then just some other ones right there. Okay, moving over here. So we've got, these are all Snap-on, 1/2 inch, deep well impact, shallow impact, mid-length impact. These have actually been super handy. And then I've got my shallow chrome sockets. Moving down to 3/8. Got the deep well, shallow, mid-length. And again, I really like these mid-lengths. They're super handy. I mean, obviously you gotta have both of these, but these are a nice addition. Okay, 1/4 inch drive. This is actually a set of Matcos right here. I got them on a special, and they're impact sockets, but they've been great, and there hasn't been any issue with them being impact sockets. I mean, the wall thickness hasn't kept me from getting on any fasteners or anything weird. And then I've got the shallows down here. In this corner, so I've got just some extensions. I've got like your Ecotech oil filter socket here, swivel, some short extensions, you know, different ranges there. T70 Torx socket, use that on like Subaru drain plugs, like your front diff, things like that. Some different stuff here. This is a no-name one, but I really like it because the locking mechanism on it doesn't work all that well, so you can get it apart one-handed if you're in a tight spot. It's gonna be super handy. So. Coming over here, I've got the 1/4 inch stuff. Got another little universal there. Just another adapter. Okay, up in the middle here, got the Snap-on Allen sockets. These are really well made in my opinion. They don't round things out. They fit well. Got some 12-point stuff. And then I really like these impact swivel sockets, specifically the 1/4 inch drive one. Or drive ones. The thing I like about these quarters is just you look at the ratio of the body to the head, and this is really good for getting in tight spots. You move up, I've got the 3/8 one here as well, but you look at how big the body is here, and you're trying to get into a spot that's going to have that size of fastener, and it just makes it very difficult a lot of times. So these come in handy on things like bell housing bolts, stuff where you're not getting in tight spots, but you need that angle, and so that's why I've got them. Got that little deeper set there too. Okay, over here I've got the Snap-on Torx sockets. Gotta have them. This is actually my first set of Allen sockets in the Craftsman. I keep them around just in case you gotta hammer one into, a fastener that's getting a little rounded, or if you need two sizes at once. Then I've just got like a Lyle set of E-Torx back here. I don't run into that E-Torx stuff that much, so that's why I don't really have a bigger set of that. Okay, while we're in the middle area there, this is my little Matco Air Ratchet. I know everybody's getting a lot of electric tools. I love electric tools as well, but this thing is just super handy. I've got this swivel here, works great, power's good on it, it's not too powerful, not too weak, and you look at the size of the body, the head, it's just good for getting in tight spots. Okay, down in this corner, so first thing here, I've got a 1/2 inch extension. It's got the locking end on it, and it's just a long one. It's a blue point. Use that for like bell housing bolts. This is Craftsman Serpentine belt tool. I've got a Mac Pry Bar. That has been a really good pry bar. Haven't had any issues with it. The only thing that's ever happened is it's got a little bend in the end. I tried to use this to block the flywheel on a Duramax while I was using a breaker bar on the crank pulley and then hitting the starter, and it did bend this. Got an older Craftsman torque wrench here, 1/2 inch. My grandpa gave it to me. It's a really good torque wrench, and I've had it, had it checked a couple times as far as to see if it's still calibrated, and it has been perfect. So keep using it. And then I like these Matco ratchets. So I've got the 1/2 inch drive one here. Haven't had any issues out of it. And then I've got the 3/8 right here. And this is my go-to ratchet. The main thing I like about this is it's pretty long and it's low profile. And it's not meant to be a low profile ratchet. It's just a 3/8 ratchet, but the head's not that deep and the selector switches here are really thin. So this one's recessed. It's really nice. And I love Snap-on. So, I have this one, and I got this to replace that ratchet. When I got this ratchet, I was a little bummed. It's slightly shorter, and the first few times I used it, this catches on stuff, and this doesn't catch on it too bad, but there's some times where that sticks out further than the Matco. And then the head itself, if you just compare them, it's just a little bit thicker. So it's a great ratchet, but I don't use it that much. And I've got the 1/2 inch drive one here, and this I don't use that much. It's just really short for being a 1/2 inch drive, so can't get a whole lot of leverage on it. I've got like a mid-length one here, and then just a standard length 3/8. I've got these 2 1/4 inch drive Snap-on ratchets, just the regular length here, and the longer one. I really like these. The heads are fine, but they're still pretty stout. Don't have a lot of issues with breaking them. Okay, moving up here, got the 1/2 inch drive impact swivels. Gotta have them. You can see I've used the crap out of this 17. I really love this set. And then back here, got just some attachments for that Craftsman Serpentine belt tool, oil filter socket. This is for the Toyota oil filters. And then this thing right here is just a piece of steel. It's hexagonal. It goes in like a 24mm socket, and it's really nice when you got a couple guys that think they've got the strongest impact in the shop, and you can hook them together with this and see which one spins the other. Got a Snap-on breaker bar. Okay, moving over to the sockets. This set and this set I probably wouldn't have bought. These are the standards, but I bought the metric one that came with these. It was buy one get one, so great. I literally don't think I've used any of these or any of these. I don't use a whole lot of standard stuff. You see here's the 1/4 inch stuff down here. I've got shallows. I don't actually have any deep wells in 1/4 inch, just don't use them. These are Snap-ons. I got the shallows, 3/8, Craftsman here on the deep well 3/8. Here's those mid-length 1/2 inch, and then Snap-on back here as well. I've got the deep wells and the shallows, and I've used these here and there, but every once in a while you get a socket a fastener that was metric, but it's rusted or worn down enough that now it's standard. So, and then in the very back, I've got the Matco magnetic just stretch belt tool for accessory belts, and that is very handy when you need it. So, okay, second drawer. Got wrenches in here. Okay, there's the wrench drawer. So in the back, I've got the Monster brand underhood light. I've had it for about 5 years. It's held up really great. Battery still works just like it should. It's got about a 3.5 hour battery life. And the thing I really like about it is when the battery dies, if you can just plug it in, it will turn on and keep running, even while it's charging. Okay, so we'll start over here on the left. Back here, I've just got a cheapy Harbor Freight set of flare nut wrenches. I haven't had any issues out of them. They work great. And then these are all gear wrench, just ratcheting wrenches, standard length, shorter ones. Here's the standards and the metrics. And like these 2 sets and this set of these flex heads up here, these are gear wrenches as well. I picked these up at Sears after Christmas one year for like 30 or 35 bucks a set. They've been great. Haven't broken any of them. And that is pretty cheap for wrenches in my opinion. Keep this pair of pliers in here because it doesn't fit in the plier drawer just because of the height of it, but it's just a 90-degree pair of needle nose. It's a good little pair. Okay, so I got my Snap-on standard wrenches and metrics here. They are not the flank drives, but they work really well. I really like them. Use them a lot. Okay, here's some more of these flex head ratcheting wrenches. This is just Craftsman brand, and these are the standards. Then I've got some Snap-on flare nut wrenches there. And here's my bigger or longer wrenches. So I've got like a 27mm Snap-on. This set here, or in through here's all Harbor Freight, but I got this in a set. It was like 10 millimeter up to 26 millimeter, just long wrenches, and I use these a lot. They're great for alignments or just bigger stuff, and haven't had any issues with them rounding out. So here I've got some of the bigger ratcheting wrenches. I got 19, 21, 22, 24, and then this section is probably my favorite parts of the wrench drawer. So I really like these 0 degree offset double box end snap-on wrenches. These are great. They're strong, get a lot of leverage out of them, get in tight spots, and if you want that little part that sticks out, great. If you don't, flip it around. I mean, you can get in a lot of spaces with that. Really like this set. And I started out, I just got this one. It's a 12 on one end and a 14 on the other. And man, I've used this a lot, like especially working on Toyotas. This will take care of a lot of fasteners. Get you into a lot of spots you couldn't get otherwise. Down here, same concept, just ratcheting and flex head, and they're reversible. And I did get the Matco brand on these. I know there's a lot of other brands. I don't know who they're made by, but there's a lot of other versions of these made by other people. And I just got the Matco because the Matco guy was coming around, and if one breaks, you can have it warranted easily. And I have not broken any of these, luckily, but my friends who have these same wrenches have, you know, it seems like you loan one out to somebody, and they're long so you can get into tight places or, you know, reach things. They're not long so you can put 500 foot-pounds of torque on them, but that's what guys do. They use them to break things free. So these pins here seem to have an issue when you put a lot of torque on them, and sometimes I've seen the mechanism in here screw up too, but if you treat them nicely, they're really great. You can get a pretty good amount of torque on them. I haven't broken any, and they are really good for getting into hard to access areas. Down here I've just got some the smaller wrenches, and then over here is kind of the same thing as these, just they don't have the little part that sticks out, and they're not reversible. So I got like the 17 and 19 on that one, and then this one's the 13 and the 15, and super handy. This wrench, thought I would use a lot when I bought it. I really have not used it much. It's just hard. It doesn't get into areas as well as you'd think it would. So a lot of times you got a fastener that's sitting under a ledge or something, and this angle of this just doesn't let you do what you'd think you can do with it. So I keep it around, but haven't really had a lot of chance to use it. Okay, pliers. So I do about 90% of my stuff with these right here. So just got snap-on, 45, longer needle nose. These are the 47 ACP, just standard pair of slip jaw pliers. You can do a lot of stuff with that. I really like them. I'm really a big fan of these Nip-X pliers. The grip you get with these is just insane. So I've got like just a slip jaw pair there. This has the locking feature. It's very handy when you're doing something one-handed especially. Same thing with these. I use these a ton on alignments. And then these side cutters are phenomenal. You can literally cut through a penny with these things. I mean, they're just great. So I've got a Craftsman pair of wire strippers here. Works great. And then this, it's like a pair of snap ring pliers. They've got the little serrations on the outside there. I can't get it to focus, but yeah, these are super handy. They're great for snap rings, and I've used them in several other things, and I really like them, so I keep them right there in the front. Here's just this, you know, set of little miniature pliers, Craftsman. They work great. And the rest of this stuff is pretty much all off-brand stuff, except for this Blue Point pair of snap ring pliers here, and they've got the interchangeable tips here. This is really nice because it's also reversible, and it came with little tips. The tips, some of them are a little weak, but whatever, it does its job. Okay, it's more side cutters, needle nose pliers, oil filter pliers. These are some tin snips my grandpa gave me, made in the USA. They've been great. I've had these for like 10 years. This is a tool from Harbor Freight. Man, they've just been great. I use them for compressing calipers, just anything you use a big pair of channel locks for. These are just a real thin pair of needle nose, and these have been pretty handy if you get like a CD player or CD stuck in a CD player or something. That has actually taken them out of there. I've been really impressed with those. Here's just a crap pair of pliers. I use if I'm like going to weld a nut to something and don't want to accidentally weld my pliers. Here's some little snap ring pliers. I got these and like a couple other little things from a guy for like $7 one time in high school, and he just needed some gas money, and I was like, okay. and they work great. I haven't had any issues with them. They've been pretty handy. They've held up, so whatever. Just some vice grips, spark plug, wire, pliers, and then just random pair of Mac pliers laying in there. Okay, screwdriver drawer. So over here we got picks. We've got the snap-on ratcheting screwdrivers. I really like this little one here. It fits my hand well. I like that these are interchangeable and came with the long one up here. I really like this pry tool. I think everybody needs to buy one of these right now. Just the angles on it are great. It's really awesome for taking clips out. It doesn't get all bent up. The metal's really tough. I really like that. Okay, and then I've got a long Phillips here. This has been handy. I didn't get this till just recently, actually. My friend and I were working on my motorcycle, and we had a screw that was, you know, really deep in the airbox, recessed, and we ended up getting it out, but he bought me this a couple of days later, and I was very thankful, so thank you. We've got some Torx Drivers here. Those have been great, and I love this feature where they got the nut on them, so, I mean, the handle's awesome. You can get a lot of torque on that anyways, but if you need a little bit more, if something's super tight, you can put a wrench on there and really crank on it. Same thing with the screwdrivers. So it's just your basic screwdriver set. And then moving up here, so this is the Harbor Freight little bit set, and then where I had the snap-on ones, I just substituted them in there. And it's got some funky stuff in here, but it's kind of nice to have it. It's like $10 at the time I bought it. Just got a little driver here. Very handy, and you can stick a ratchet on it if you need to. Impact driver set back there. Little scraper. This is the grenade pin out of a timing belt tensioner, and I've just filed the end of it down really sharp, and I use this mainly for like depinning connectors, something where you need just a tiny screwdriver or something to get in there. Got this flexible magnet. I think it's super handy. Okay, razor scrapers. Got some different files here. Extension for the screwdrivers, a little mirror, and another torque driver. Oh, last thing, pocket screwdrivers, and I got a little pick and a magnet here. I really like these snap-on ones. They're great. Okay, next drawer is hammers, chisels, punches, etc. So, got a little pry bar here, snap-on dead blow, little Craftsman ball peen, some blue points. These are the Max. I like them. I know some other brands make this like Proto or something, but I got these on a promo with this and this. I think everything was $100 for the two hammers and the chisels and punches. Thought that was a pretty good deal, and I've used these a ton. I've used these hammers a ton. And then I've just got some of my snap-on punches and chisels, little pry bars. I really like this brass drift. You can get, you know, force where you want it, and you're not tearing the crap out of everything. It's lasted really well. Okay, then up here, we've got, this is actually a wrist pin out of a 6.4 Power Stroke. The guy I was working with was putting pistons in one, and he was getting ready to throw these away, so I kept it. I figured maybe it'd be good in the press or as a driver or something. And it's good and heavy, I just haven't really had a chance to use it. Back here I just keep some bulk bolts and washers, nuts, things like that. If you need to attach a chain to something, or you need to shim something out, or need to make a pole or something like that. C-clamp. This is a little wheel stud installer. It's very handy. And then here I've got like my little spiral extractors. It's a good little set. Craftsman. Okay, these I got one day at Sears a long time ago, and they are very handy. They're not very strong, so you use them on rounded nuts and bolts, and I've had actually really good luck with these. If you loan them out to people, they break them, so some of the ones in the other set are, the little teeth are broken out of them, but I think those were like $10 a piece. I thought that was pretty useful. It did work on the job I was trying to use it on, so. Okay, power tools. So in the back, I've got the air hammer chisels, got the Matco Silver Eagle air hammer. It's worked great. There's been a couple times I've had to borrow a snap-on, so it's pretty powerful, but there's sometimes, you know, my buddy's snap-on is just enough stronger that it gets the job done where this wouldn't. Got a blue point die grinder. I really like these swivels, by the way. Just handy for not having the hose in weird angles. Milwaukee 3/8 fuel impact. You got to have these. Milwaukees are the best. The flashlight, don't really use that much. Just some different grinding tools. Blow guns, a little grease gun for the air tools, and some of your U-joints will take that type as well. Got some DeWalt stuff here. Sawzall, little impact, cordless drill, hearing protection. I'm a major advocate for that. I think it'd be smart if everybody had a pair of these. They're nice. I like the little ones that go in your ear, but this is nice because you can take them on and off quickly. And you know, when you're working on cars, your hands are dirty. If you're trying to roll up earplugs and take them in and out, you're going to get all that crap in your ears, not to mention if you got earwax in there. So these are nice. You can slide them on quickly. I've got a corded hammer drill here. I like this if you're drilling, you know, long times or extended times. It's nice because the battery doesn't run out. And it's not quite as noisy and as annoying as an air drill. Safety glasses over here. And then we've got some crap drill bits. I need to get some better ones, but the Harbor Freight ones are cheap. And if you break them, you just go buy a new set for 10 bucks. Got some Mac left-handed drill bits here, and then just like a Harbor Freight hole saw kit. And then these are some other Harbor Freight drill bits somebody just gave me one time. And it's nice just because it's a bigger set. And who cares if you break them? Oops. Okay, this drawer. Got quick disconnects here, Milwaukee charger, got a Mac air gauge, mirrors off my motorcycle, got some grease. These are just some wheel lock keys I've collected over the years. Maybe they'll come in handy someday. And then this is a little rethreading kit, or thread restorer kit is what it calls it. And if you've got something that the threads aren't totally screwed up in, or it's at least got threads in it, these are really handy. Specifically these thread files. If you've got something where you can't get a die over like a stud or something like that, these are extremely handy. So, and they've really saved the day a couple times. Okay, and then I've got the Matco / made by Irwin, whatever you want to call it. Just a big tap and die set, and this has been pretty good. It gets you through about 99% of the stuff. Also bought the snap-on tap for like O2 sensor bungs. So you know how they like to strip out once in a while. Since I bought it, I haven't had to use it, which has been nice, but it's in there. Okay. Bottom drawer here is mainly electrical, but I have some of the bigger kits in here. So snap-on ball joint press. This is well worth the money in my opinion. I mean, you can use whatever you want to use, but and I know it's expensive. It's $600 or $700. My wife was mad when I bought it, but man, it makes your life easier. So I'll take it. And I've got the extra adapter in here for like the Dodge front ends. Okay, this is a Matco pulley puller / installer, and I kind of wish I would have just bought the like snap-on puller. It's a little simpler, but this has been nice in a few instances where you've got a crank pulley that's got to be actually pressed back on, so it's a little bit more complicated than I would like, but it works great, and haven't lost any pieces out of it, so that's been nice. Okay, underneath that I've got the Power Probe 3 kit. This is one of those things I bought thinking, man, I was going to use this a lot, and I just didn't. And there's been some times I've used like specifically this portion of it where you want to put power to something or want to put ground to it. That's great. This part I just haven't used a lot. It's got this short finder deal, and usually it just doesn't work for me. Like the system works, but it's hard to get access to, you know, the full length of a harness, especially inside the car or something. So I guess under the car it might work good, but just haven't really had to use that. So I hang on to it because it's not like you can really sell it for a whole lot. Maybe handy at some point. Okay, got the Fluke Meter, and I'll get the case off because I need to put a fuse in it. Loaned it to a guy, and of course he blew the fuse. Just some bulk zip ties, wires, extra leads, a little soldering iron. People give me crap. This was in the kit. You know, you had to buy your tool set when you went to school. And yeah, they're just wires. They're made by Snap-on. I will say I've used the crap out of these and they've not had any issues, so that's been nice. Temp gun, more zip ties. Got a little headlight bulb here, just hooked up to some leads. Really handy if you're testing a circuit and you need to, you know, make sure it's actually getting amperage through there, not just, you know, continuity on one strand of wire. Power probe, little butane soldering iron. This thing's really sweet. And then I've got Snap-on test light here. I like these ones that are not LED. The only reason I say that is because you can tell if something's really getting current or just barely getting current, because the thing will either light up dim or light up bright. You know, the LED, it's either on or off. That's another little soldering iron. And then down here I've got the little, it's a tool for winding back your rear brake calipers. So, and it's just the eBay tool. I got this for like 15 bucks, and it's got a little different adapters to go into different styles or style calipers. It's actually been very handy. Okay. So, onto the little drawers over here. Okay. Got my trim tools, flashlight, batteries, feeler gauges. This is a nice little straight edge here. It's actually really precise, and it's got the, you know, measurements and decimal equivalents and all that on it. It's really handy, actually. Digital tire pressure gauge, kind of nice. Drum brake tools, little digital dial caliper here, or trim tool here. This, I got that with the Cornwell truck, and I know it's chipped, but this has actually been a really good trim tool. It's really thin, but it's still strong out here at the end. This is a spring puller. Some razor blades. This is a little cheesy 4-pin tester, but it does work nice. Some different brushes. And then this is like the stretch belt tool like your GMs come with when you buy a new belt. Over here I've just got some miscellaneous E-clips, pins that hold like chain tensioners and stuff together. Those are really handy in some cases, like if you gotta hold a thermostat on like a tranny open or something like that. Okay, this drawer is mainly just paperwork, and got some rags and stuff in the bag. Down here, miscellaneous, just little lubricants, RTV, tire plugs, some extra lug nuts. And then I've got like a plastic razor blade. I also keep my Snap-on Allen wrenches in here. And then just got like some rubber caps for capping off nipples and things. Dielectric grease, Q-tips, those are kind of handy for if you gotta clean something in a tight spot. Emblem adhesive. That's something to do with that monster light. You can put some different clips on it. I just use the one that hooks onto the hood generally. And got the service manual for a 1990 Camaro. Never owned one, but I like those cars, the third gens. Got my battery tender in here. Little torch. Oil filter for Subaru. I really like this dead blow hammer. This is my main go-to hammer, actually. It just doesn't fit in the hammer drawer. It's just a little bit too thick. So, but definitely been used. Really enjoyed it. And then I've got some connectors. I've got a little scan tool that'll do OBD1. So there's the OBD1 connectors. Okay, down here, just bulk storage. So, no spill funnel, gotta have it. Always keep like a pickle jar or something for collecting like fuel samples, or anything like that. And then I've got just some miscellaneous hardware and bulbs. You know, you gotta replace a whole assembly and it comes with bulbs in it. I always save those. They're getting kind of high these days. Fender cover, and then I just keep like extra nuts and bolts down. I got a bowl on top of it, but nuts and bolts, they can definitely save the day when part stores are closed or you can't find a certain size. And then I've got like a dial indicator back here, magnetic base, some gloves, different air fittings, ratchet straps, on and on. Okay, so that's a tour of my box. Real quick, if you're wondering what this is a pit bull trailer retention system. Those pins lock in the rear axle of my motorcycle, and then these slide into a bracket that goes in the trailer. So you can load the bike in there and it's really stable. You don't have to strap anything down. So anyways, that's been a tour of the Snap-on KRL1022. Thanks for watching.